Welcome to Talking Football Tuesday edition with all the action from the French and German leagues. And with me to talk about it, our football analysts, Amit Leventhal and Michael Friedman, who takes a look at the press. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Bayern Munich is back to winning ways, so is Borussia Dortmund. And the big match in France ends in a draw, leaving both sides somewhat disappointed. All this and much more coming up. Let's get started. We begin in Germany, where Bayern Munich took just 1 point from 2 matches since returning from the winter break, with Wolfsburg closing in. Should the Bavarians worry about their title? The answer is not really. Even when the results were not so good, it was clear they would soon return to win, and bottom side Stuttgart was the ideal rival. Arjen Robben was on target last week in the home draw against Schalke, and he did it again now, and what a goal! The Dutch striker nails his 12th of the season. He started the play, came back to take the pass, and you know where that is going. A beautiful goal in the first half and one just as good after the break. Thomas Müller makes a distraction and David Alaba sends the free kick in. Great execution. Things are back to normal. Bayern Munich wins 2-0. I mean, it seems like all they needed was to get that focus back, which suddenly went away in the winter break. Once it's back, it's quite sure that Bayern will be champions eventually. No one can really stop them.
Yeah, for Bayern, winning is normal. Not winning is something that everybody's asking the questions in Germany, because they are so much better than all the other teams, and that's worrying for the Bundesliga and for the interest in the Bundesliga, which was until 2-3 years ago one of the most competitive leagues in Europe. But now Bayern are so strong, and you see that although they are winning. And Alaba scored a Pirlo-esque kind of goal, you can say. They still have some players, getting criticized by the media. Goetze and Lewandowski are not, they have problems filling in the team. Lewandowski is not the star he was at Dortmund, for example.
He's just another player here, whereas in Dortmund he was the big star.
Yeah, he has only 4 goals this season, important goals, not in a leading situation. So they have issues, but again, their focus is on the Champions League. Then in this from this month and ahead, we will see what they're worth, and they need to go all the way to the final this year.
Yeah, they're facing now Shakhtar Donetsk as of next week. That will probably not be their problem. Michael, what does Pep have to say about this win?
In the 90 Minutes headlines, Pep Guardiola was encouraged for upcoming games after the Stuttgart win. He knows that his players, need to continue in the same way in the future fixtures and to really get back to speed to what they were before the break. And he said, "We're not perfect. I know that. We have to improve. We have to find our game, and that's the goal for the next few games." But the winter break was really it was a challenging time for them to take away such a long time off. But the players are getting back into the form, and even Arjen Robben tweeted, "Bayern magic will always shine through." So the players want to get back to the winning form. They don't like losing. They're not used to losing. So this was a very good win for them.
Bayern magic will always shine through. I probably agree. Now to Borussia Dortmund, who were last in the Bundesliga ahead of the weekend. Their last win came in early December, with many people questioning Jurgen Klopp's ability to pull them out. We all know this team is far too good to be in the last place, and finally they were able to show all their talent when they traveled to Freiburg, and by talent we mean especially Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The striker from Gabon was simply everywhere. He came with a steal and the setup for Marco Reus in the first half. After the break, he did it all himself. He scored the second 10 minutes into the second half. Later on, we saw how good Dortmund really is. The beautiful team play by the visitors ends with Aubameyang doing it again. Dortmund win 3-0. They're still in relegation zone, but at least they're out of the last place. I mean, they look like such an elegant team. We saw that last goal, beautiful team play. But when you're fighting relegation, you do it with teeth and nails. Not with champagne. You have to fight for your life. That's where they are.
Yes, and most of the games against their relegation battles teams, they lost them against Köln and against Bremen, and they didn't show.
These are teams coming to fight.
Yeah, they didn't have the spirit they needed to. And Klopp said in the winter break, the main issue is, to get into the head of the players and, make them realize we are in a relegation battle and we need to fight like a team. And it's very difficult to do with these kind of players. But I think, they are so quality. And I was in Germany last week, And I watch the teams in the relegation zone and above, and they are so poor. Some of them. It's amazing that Dortmund are behind some of them. It's really unimaginable. If we talk about quality shining through, like Robin said, then in Dortmund case, maybe the best thing for them is not to be in Europe next season, so they can focus on rebuilding. Financially it's bad, but going back to basics and trying to rebuild the group, because they have great players that just need a refresh start.
And Michael, as far as the press is concerned, there's no question who the big hero of this game was.
There's only one man they're talking about. The Guardian headlines read, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leads Borussia Dortmund to win at Freiburg. He was the main man at the match. He was crucial for this struggling side. And he spoke about the team's poor, season up until now. And he said it was a mental problem. The coach found the right words, and he made the right calls. So they're really looking to step it up. And Jurgen Klopp said, we have to keep believing it can go forward after these 3 or 4 months in which we didn't. So it's going to be a tough road ahead for them. But ultimately, the guys and this one player is the key to the future.
Yeah, and probably the good news for them is that there's Champions League next week. They face Juventus. They just love it up there. That's where they're doing really good.
Yep.
It's an intriguing battle, one of the best in this stage.
Juventus Dortmund, what a battle.
What a battle.
And other results from the Bundesliga this weekend. Schalke beat Mönchengladbach 1-0. Wolfsburg will not be able to catch Bayern Munich, but they can still be happy with what their season looks like. They beat Hoffenheim 3-0 at home. And the match between Augsburg and Eintracht Frankfurt ended in a 2-2 draw. Bayern Munich are first with 49 points, 8 more than Wolfsburg in second. Schalke and Augsburg are next, both with 34 points, followed by Mönchengladbach with 33. Now to France, where the match last night in Lyon could have shown the way for the rest of the season. A win by the home team would have put them 5 points clear of champions Paris Saint-Germain. A win by the Parisians would have sent them to the first place for the first time this season, but both scenarios did not happen. The match ended in a 1-1 draw. The home team, still without injured Lacazette, took the lead in the first half. But a Zlatan Ibrahimovic penalty tied the score. The Lyon keeper actually saved the first kick, but the referee ordered a second one, and Zlatan will not miss twice in a row. Each team gets 1 point, meaning nothing changes at the top. Amit, if you're Lyon, you're happy because on the one hand you're still first. On the other, this is a home match. You lost, you could have won, and PSG is dealing with Chelsea next week.
Yes, and we have to remember Lyon is not playing in Europe. They were eliminated
early on.
Yeah, very, very early in the season. So they're not playing in Europe. It's a big advantage. Lacazette is injured. Grenier, some of their key players are injured, but they have the best youth system in France. And all the money Paris has, they don't have the talent that Lyon has in its youth. And you see players like the goalkeeper Anthony Lopez, who was born alongside the same road as the stadium, is the Stade de Gerland. And you saw other players like Nabil Fekir, who has a great season. And it's really seeing all these youngsters come through. They really come to their peak together. You must credit the coach, Fournier. Hubert Fournier is doing a great job there. And this draw, they looked in the eye of PSG. And, without the referee, probably PSG would not have, even earned a point. So, yeah, it gives them some confidence. Without our big star, we still compete with all these big, names of Paris. But it's really a missed chance because they should have won.
And Paris, on the other hand, we criticize them, and rightfully so. And yet, they're 2 points. Having said everything, they're only 2 points behind the leaders.
Yes, and and we still expect them to win. Even if they were 5 points behind and lost this match, we still would expect them to win the title because of the money and their great players. And it's you're surprised that they are not top of the league by 10 points by now. So
as they were last season.
So everything we have to judge by our expectations in the beginning and during the season. And so far, they're not playing the football we expect them to. They are not in the table where we expect them to be. Which now, if they don't win and don't pass against Chelsea, Laurent
Huge
Blanc is
failure.
doomed.
Huge failure.
Yeah, huge failure.
And Michael, as far as the press is concerned, the big story here was that penalty that was taken twice.
Absolutely. The Daily Mail headlines read, Zlatan Ibrahimovic rescues a point for PSG against Ligue 1 leaders Lyon with retaken penalty after missing the first attempt. The referee's decision, a lot of people were questioning at first. It was clear, though, that the Lyon men were inside the box and it should be a second penalty. But it's something that they're definitely going to be frustrated with. They had, the opportunity to go ahead and extend their lead, and the draw really is something that will have to struggle for Lyon, and hopefully in the next game step it back up.
Yeah, you can go into the area a little bit, not that much.
Not all those players.
We'll say that. Credit the referee for that. Now, Lyon's achievement is especially remarkable when we consider the fact that they rely only on the money the club raises, whereas the Parisian giants rely on the big money coming from abroad. Can the smaller club, still based in the community around it, compete with the big foreign money? Lise Barnbaum and Michael Friedman with the insights.
The clash between Lyon and Paris Saint-Germain is not only about football. There is also a battle of economic models between the two clubs. Lyon has a €115 million budget against the 490 that of PSG. Lyon also desires a strong training academy and soon will be opening a new stadium.
I followed this original business model with interest. I am aware that there are risks, but as Minister of the Economy, I, along with those who want to undertake this, will take their risks.
In 2007, Lyon was the top of Ligue 1 and realized it must continue growing. The president of the club launched the new stadium project, which will host 58,000 seats. It is expected to cost between 40 and 80 million euros per year and employ hundreds of people in the region.
En phase d'exploitation,
during the operation phase, there will be more than 1,000 permanent jobs on the site, which is quite remarkable. And on match days, between 1,500 and 2,000 temporary jobs for access, stewards, and services which will be developed.
But the project has been delayed, and the team has also dropped in form. The objective of Lyon today is to go from 120 million to 200 million euro turnover and be part of the top 10 European sides. But Lyon is a club that relies only on itself, unlike PSG.
There are clubs that have rich donors, there are clubs that have oligarchs, while other clubs don't.
Today, Lyon has trouble competing with the wealthier clubs, that of their Qatari competitor. The main source of the Parisian club is its commercial revenues, primarily with Qatar tourism, and not TV rights.
Qatar invests a lot in sport and tourism and to promote the country. So I think this is a big part of the investment of Qatar, investing in Paris Saint-Germain, because today, honestly, everybody talk about Paris Saint-Germain and about Qatar, So I think it's something give huge exposure, and it helps the tourism.
Recruiting stars and developing an international brand is PSG's biggest dream. They are currently the 5th richest club in the world. The unlimited funds from the Emirates have allowed PSG not to worry about the salary of its players. But unlike Lyon, PSG does not own its stadium. While Lyon has less money, it has a long-term vision. PSG, on the other hand, exists only due to its Qatari benefactors. But at the end of the day, the only way to determine which model is best is on the football pitch.
So Amit, Lyon is successfully competing with PSG this season. We see Atletico Madrid still smaller in funds compared with Barcelona and Real Madrid competing with them. Can the smaller teams succeed, or at the end of the day the money will eat everything?
The money talk, and PSG and Lyon are the two opposite sides, because Jean-Michel Aulas, the Lyon president, is almost 3 decades at their club, and he's trying to build a model. The main thing is that when you're short of money, you need to be very efficient. You cannot have any room for mistakes like big clubs. Real Madrid, they pay some 40 million euro for players like Real Mendy, for example. And if they fail, it's not a big deal. They can sell and bring another one.
Smaller clubs
they cannot afford that. Now, the thing is that on the long term, I don't think they could compete, because the rich get richer all the time, and especially today with all the TV money coming into the game. So in the end, we're going to see all the big clubs in Europe, facing each other. We see today the big teams against the small in all the leagues. It's not a competition. So yeah, and
money talks.
Yeah, and clubs like Lyon in the they are big clubs, but not. Yeah. With not foreign owners, they have a big test.
Let's hope the smaller clubs can do it. Now, in other results from France, Marseille also take just 1 point as their match in Rennes ends in a 1-1 draw. Bordeaux win in Evian. And any thought Monaco had of catching up with the top teams is now gone as the team from the Riviera lose 1-0 in Guingamp. All this means nothing changes at the top. Lyon are first with 50 points, followed by PSG and Marseille with 40, both with 48, and the same goal difference. Saint-Etienne is fourth, but way behind with 41 points, one more than Monaco. Michael Friedman, Amit Leventhal, thank you for being with us this week.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with our daily magazine. Till then, have a beautiful day.